Oh, hello. Just trying to get the perfect thumbnail here to start off this playlist. So I want to say, welcome to Vancouver Carpenter. That ought to do right there. And yeah, this is the first video of a playlist to repair all of this nastiness in this place. So right now, today what I'm going to be working on is we're just going to be boarding around these two windows because all this stuff has to stay open for an electrical inspection. So, you know, we're just gonna do the work we can for today, but as the videos progress, there's gonna be a lot to see here. I mean, first off, we've got this thing that I showed you that's flapping all over the place. How do we fix that? How are we gonna make that look good? We've got a joint here, you know, when drywall gets butted up to a corner bead, gotta love that. How do we make that look good? So you're gonna get to see that in this series. We've got this beautiful joint here where it's sticking out a 1/4 inch. No, actually that's about 1/2 inch. So can we ever make that look good? Now I know, you guys say this all the time. Ben, why don't you just rip all the drywall off? Okay, one, for starters, this is an old house. It's impossible to get rid of any drywall like pre-1990 these days. Two, the reason for that is because it quite possibly contains asbestos. So the less I disturb any of this stuff, the better. I'm just gonna be patching all the holes here. Three, as an experienced finisher, I know that it takes less time to pre-fill and then refinish all this stuff if you know how to float stuff out. So by the time you've ripped all this stuff off, found a hole to bury it in your backyard after getting frustrated trying to find somewhere to get rid of it, and bought new drywall, installed it, oh, and the new drywall prices, by the way. So by the time you've done all of this stuff, you may have discovered why sometimes it's just easier to fix what that, I'm stumbling here while I'm trying to rant on my pedestal, but you may have figured out why it's sometimes easier to just repair what's already there. Okay, this job just kind of makes me like scratch my head because it's ridiculous. But like, just look at this, right? We got this piece of wood sticking out right here. So I somehow have to cut this flush so that I can put a piece of drywall on it. And then even once I get the drywall onto it, it's gonna be waving in and out all over the place. Right here, 1/2 inch drywall is gonna stick out so much, but like it's probably what we have to use. So I'm gonna have to just build it out right here with mud. Again, we've got this weird spot right here. This wood all sticks out right here, so it's gotta be cut down. And then this thing, the further down you go, starts to stick out more and more. So I think I'm just gonna have to try and like multi-tool this a little bit and then bash it off with a chisel or something like that so that I can actually get some drywall on this. Not to mention probably having to buy some spray foam to tackle all this stuff right here. Because yeah, it should have, you know, a little bit of insulation. Do we rip off the drywall? Probably not. Time for the world's most annoying tool. One of the most effective tools, but it's definitely annoying. These blades are expensive. Let's see, seems that we got that little bit started. Let's see how much chisel does. It's gonna look great for my house. It's gonna look good with drywall on it. You know, I could actually make this easier on myself. These saws are actually designed to cut across the grain, not with it. So I'm just gonna make these little relief cuts, at the same depth as to where the rest of the framing is. And now we can start this way. Right now, it just needs to not stick out so darn much. Hey guys, I'm actually doing carpentry work. See this? It's a hammer and a chisel. That ain't a trowel and a putty knife. You can already hear all the losers in the comments. Stick to drywall, man. Well, wait till it's done. You may disagree with what I'm doing, but when it's done, you won't. But this time I cut a little bit deeper than all of these to help it snap off a bit better. Well, that was more than I bargained for. Alright, I can stick drywall on that and patch it. Alright, we just gotta pick up some materials. I need spray foam for around all those gaps. I need Acousti-Seal for the poly, and need concrete fill for the taping tomorrow. So yeah, time to grab a few materials. If I can even remember where the hardware store actually is. You guys haven't been working lately. It is that way. Just had to buy a hammer tacker. I mean, I could have probably gotten away with doing something else, but you know, I just figured it was going to be faster and cheaper to buy another hammer tacker than to go to my storage locker and try and unbury the 2 or 3 that I probably already own. Anybody else operate like that? Never have what I need, but I have multiples of everything. Shake can vigorously for 30 seconds. Yes, it does. Guys, I'm out of practice here. I just can't remember what products need to be shaken, which ones don't. But yeah, we gotta get a little more insulation in here. I made sure to buy the door and window one. It's super important when you're doing anything around any doors and windows that you get the right stuff. Because if you use regular spray foam around doors and windows, as it expands, it can push stuff. Don't ever get this stuff on your clothes. It sucks. That's okay. Maybe there. Okay, that's good enough for now. The old rock wool. Lovely stuff. I'm gonna put my mask on, but I'm gonna tell you the secret to this stuff real quick. When you cut it, you wanna just, so I'm like lining it up right here, and I'm now gonna cut it in the middle of this stud right here. So, because it doesn't fit unless you make it a little bit long. Look at those nails. Let's jam my hands onto those. So you make it just a little bit long, and then it should fit nice. Because this stuff is only as effective as it is snug. If it looks messy and untidy and gappy, that's how well it's gonna work. Not very well. This is not standard practice. Normally you'd wait for it to cure and cut it off with a knife. I don't have time for that. That's not as straight as the video I made showing you guys how to do it straight. That's really dull point here. Okay, Acousti-Seal. This stuff you don't want to get on your clothes either. So, yeah, this is just, you know, to stop the vapor from going in and out. And, you know, this is for optics more than anything at this point, you guys. This is kind of a do your best and cock the rest sort of situation going on here. Just creating a perimeter. Hopefully I don't need more than one tube. It's the only one I bought. Run it a little bit. Okay. that's gonna be good enough. Looks like someone kinda cared and sorta knew what they were doing. All right, so what do we got? A little bit of Acousti-Seal and no more spray foam on the fingers. That's not bad, and I'm still tidy, so I consider that a success. Oh, these ones are so pointy. That's because they're good screws. Good screws are really pointy. 43.5. Somebody actually left a T-square here. I wonder how square it is. Nice and old. I'm very often on jobs that are homeowner jobs or DIY jobs, and I'm often using the tools that are on site. So, you know, sometimes you guys might see me using like a Milwaukee drill or just tools that you don't see very often. A lot of the time that's because I'm using homeowners' tools. Because I've been making videos for 3 years, making a living off them for 2 years, and so I don't run around with all my tools on hand all the time. Anyways, okay. My point is, I wouldn't have had a T-square if that one hadn't have been here. Okay, let's mark out a few important things here. All right, this right here. And this is, there's lots of meat all around in there. Plenty of meat all the way up and down here. And it was right about there. Left hand. Just marking it with my pencil. Okay, so let's see. That's pretty close. So some people might be thinking, why am I putting a joint right here? Instead of trying to do this silly big thing out of a full piece, because it would be silly to do it out of a full piece, that's why. And I think I'm gonna prop this thing up a ½ inch or so. Yeah, that'll work there. This. Happy with that. Happy with that. Okay. Yeah! Yeah, that's about how uneven this thing is. It's gonna look like that when we screw it in. Oh man. That's embarrassing. I already know this is super uneven. But that's really bad. How are we gonna make this look good, you guys? Because that's a mess. No, don't you worry. Oh, too high. We will get it done and it'll look good. Oh, hey there. Love that. That's where there's nothing to fasten to. Yep, I'm just gonna leave those ones. This looks nasty, and it is. So let's do something about it. No reason to leave that in there. That'll get pre-filled. And maybe we'll do the 6-inch Vibafuse over top of this to really give it a lot of strength. I can live with that. And we got Our stud right here. Yeah. Put a bunch of those in there. There's not anything else along here. Yeah. 3.5 inches. 3.5. I'm thinking we should actually get this place pre-filled today. So this thing actually has measurements on it. They're so hard to see on this one. Yeah, you can barely make them out. I need a couple pieces at 3.5. There's one. There's two. Okay. Do I need a third? Nope. Right about there. This is one beat up old T-square. Sometimes when you're doing such small cuts, it helps to make it a little deeper so that it breaks clean and you actually get that piece you're trying to cut. Like that. And because I don't want to break it, I'll cut it from the back side here. I know people are like, man, it's sticking out like 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, I'm telling you, just you wait. You'll see, it's not gonna be a problem. If you can float out drywall, you can make this look good. Everybody knows I build the best walls. It's gonna be awesome. Too soon? Whoa, hey there. Is there a sale on screws? Do we need them every 6 inches? Not really. Okay, can we get that to suck up? Yeah, that's a little better. Admittedly, this is gonna look crazy for a bit until you guys see what I'm gonna do with it. But you'll have to watch the next video to find out. So, yeah, this is your cliffhanger. How on earth are we gonna make this horrendous thing look good? I'm just doing that to try and suck it in. You can see all the screws are blowing out. It's really not wanting to go over. But why would it? It's a 3.5 inch wide piece of drywall. That's not gonna bend. Okay. Oh, look at that. Gotta love it when that happens. And again, we got another monstrous gap. Why didn't I chamfer that and make it tight to the wall? Because I can pre-fill it faster. That's why. When you know your skills and your methods. It's like sometimes it just takes less time to fill. Now, try getting a pieceworker drywaller to see that. You won't. You won't, and they shouldn't have to fix this kind of stuff. This isn't pieceworker stuff. This is like hourly reno or high-priced reno drywall work. If you want it to look good. We got this annoying corner bead spot. I want this to not crack again, so let's put a few more screws in it. And then I'll probably pull the mud off of it. Maybe put one every 8 inches or so. Oh. As you can see, it's pulling it up closer and it's gonna crack it even more. But the good news is that it's gonna be really well secured and sucked up so that it doesn't crack down the road when we tape this ridiculous butt joint. Quick little snacky break and then we're gonna pre-fill all this and get it looking good. This is where we have to fill up water. Just can't go all the way full. Dead spiders. Now I gotta do a second one. Look, that water's like yellow. I'm dumping that one and I'm filling up another one. Gross. Alright, it didn't even start coming out clear until the 3rd bucket, so I filled it up 4 times to get these 2 sort of half buckets. Let's get this place tidied up real quick though. And oh, we gotta do all this stuff. We gotta actually get it ready for tape. Okay, what do we want? I'd say we want, yeah, something like this. Okay, we gotta get all this loose stuff off here. This is damaged from water. That's why it's all blown out here. It's almost good. We just want all the glaringly loose bits off. I can't wait to show you guys how this is gonna look when I'm done. Right now, sure does look like garbage. Unfixable garbage. Couple bags of Quickset. Couple bags, that's ridiculous. 1 fill of Quickset, some tape, and maybe a little bit more over top of the tape. I'll take care of it. No reason for all this board to get ripped off and go into the landfill. All right, it's finally time to mix up some Quickset. Oh no, it's not. Look at this mess. I'm gonna work on this. Now, so you guys, concrete fill. I get asked all the time, what is concrete fill? Just quick setting compound. Fills and levels deep voids or cracks on interior walls and ceilings. So it's a drywall mud that has some stuff added to it. What does it say? Lightweight setting type mixed with water. Oh, that's not exciting. But let's take a look at it so you guys get an idea of what's in this stuff. So if we take a quick look, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You can see all these little grains in here. So it's got these little grains that help it roll into a smooth, flat surface. And there's also even fiberglass inside it too that helps it be a little bit stronger. So that's what's in it. And we need to get some mixed. Doing the bandits. I've just mixed way too much probably. Bandits. This is the Tradesman's Special Face Mask. Okay, just a little more water. Don't want to add too much. easy. We got it mixed pretty thick. See, it's barely even dripping and dropping off of here. I want it just a little bit thinner than that so it's easy to work with. But I want it pretty thick so that it doesn't fall out of the joints. And I gotta remember that it's going to stiffen up just a little bit as the water fully mixes in. I'm not waiting for it to slack off. That's gonna be perfect. You see, it's still pretty thick, but it's gonna be easy enough to work with. That's clean enough. Wasn't very clean when I put it back in here last time. All right, let's get this place looking a whole lot better. So, where are we gonna start here? Let's start on the ceiling, huh? So the whole idea here is filling and leveling so that we have nice flat surface for tape. Oh yeah, we got this guy. We want to make sure the joint's nice and full. And it doesn't hurt to even level it a little bit at the same time, like I'm doing right here. Feather that edge. Feather that like button if you haven't done it by now. What are you waiting for? We're finally getting to the things that I showed in the thumbnail, which I didn't actually know if I was going to get to today. But I'm stoked that I am, because now this video is not just clickbait, which I never want to put out for you guys. This might need a little more. Float that out. Now, this is going to be nice and flat to tape tomorrow. And this stuff is pretty strong. Okay. Let's do this thing while we're here. Here's the nastiness. You guys remember this? This is what you came here for. And so we just need it to be pretty darn flat. Look at this. Look at this big grossness. Okay, so we're just gonna try and like fill that full of mud. You know? So that, and the more we get in there, the stronger it will be and the less likely it is to fall out. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be something that we can tape to. So we're kind of sculpting here. We're sculpting these corners into something that will hold corner beads and tape. And so right now, that's good enough, and I'm just not gonna mess with it anymore. So we're basically doing the same thing right here. I mean, this one was simple, even though it looked nasty. This part right here, ooh, that was a good catch. This part right here is one of the easiest parts to repair of this whole place, but it just stood out on the thumbnail, if that is indeed what I actually chose. I mean, editing this video and thumbnailing it and putting it out, we're a couple weeks away from that maybe. Okay, that's better. Again, we got this big void right here. You guys can see that. We're just going to make sure that it gets nice and full. That's one of the number-one things that people need to know, is that you gotta just make sure that you're filling everything up, that you're not creating these super empty, hungry joints. That's what we're gonna call them now, hungry joints. Starved joints. Starved joints is actually a woodworking term for not enough glue. So let's call drywall ones hungry joints. So that's all gonna tape up real nice now. Happy with that. More mud. Ooh, that was fancy. And where are we here? Alright. So make it full. So I'm kind of like grouting, you know, like not everyone goes so nuts to make sure that the joints are actually full. But for me, that's what I like to do. It's got to be like, you know, I just really hammer it all in there. Let's get back here so I don't forget it. Got this big nasty one. All right, this is no big deal. We got this stuff mixed up. So this is that drywall that you thought should be replaced. No, we are just gonna add some drywall. Give this a few days to dry out. Look at this. This is a lot easier than cutting and fitting a piece of drywall. But actually, I guess that's the thing. It's not easier. So I don't know who installed this piece of board here, but they installed it upside down. I bet they just messed their measurement up and didn't have any more drywall or something. But there's gonna be so much paper here. So you can see I'm like leaving that flat. So that was essentially like just adding 1/4 inch of drywall. So there we go, I can live with that. I'm not gonna fuss about that little gap, or am I? Or am I? Of course I am. There we go, that's good. I'm not gonna worry about these gaps because I'm gonna tape this by hand, so it's gonna get lots of mud in there. Hey, while I'm here. Okay, this is all looking good. So this nasty spot, I don't even need this anymore. You guys remember this? All right, big ugly fills here. What are we gonna do about that? Well, just gonna build it out. So it's gonna be pretty nasty for a bit, but once I put a new piece of corner bead on right here, it's all gonna float out and look really good. And this right here is what separates the people that know how to fix things with mud and who are going to spend all their time fussing and farting around and cutting and shimming. I tell you, I'm not one of those guys. I'm a mud framer. So it doesn't look that great yet. Maybe let's give it a little more. Build it out a little more. I can just see it needs it. The bead that I put on here tomorrow is going to help straighten it all up. Okay. More. Oh, there we go. Now I'm gonna stop fussing around with it. It's not any better than it was. Let's just fill that up. Why not? So I think I'm gonna have to install this corner bead with a quick set tomorrow to make sure we actually get it nice and straight, and then we can tweak it. So now, I'm just gonna leave this. I'm not fixing it as I say it. Okay, now we got this nasty corner, right, where it's like super big. I think you guys should probably already be able to figure out what I'm now gonna do with this one. Right, we're just gonna fill it. So to me, this is just easier than replacing drywall. Too much mud here. Get rid of it. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's not what it needs. Now I gotta take that all off. Okay, let's focus on one thing at a time here. I got distracted because I was trying to unload some of this mud. We're getting right up in this corner. I'm just gonna leave that now. Okay, now we got this little one here. So I'm gonna run my knife down this and just fill that. I'm making a new corner here. This is where the corner is now. So we're almost done. Oh, it's time to go home. Okay. All right. Finish. Yes. All right, let's clean that off. It's easier to do it now than tomorrow morning, sort of. Okay, that's not that bad. Looks a lot better than when I came in here this morning, that's for sure. Okay, I think we're good. I really don't think that we can make this much better right now. This stuff is nice for filling screws. It's got good adhesion, so I often use it. All right, that's it. We're done for the day. Time to clean up and go home. I'm happy about that. Okay, can't wait to show you guys what this is gonna look like when we're done. And yeah, I have a bunch left over. I have a bunch extra. I told you I mixed a bit too much. But you know what? It's better than not having enough and having to mix more. Well, that's it, you guys. I'm done for the day. Time to pack out what doesn't need to be here. Come back tomorrow morning, get it all taped. So I just wanna say a big thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. Again, feather that like button if you're still here. You know, if you haven't subscribed yet, consider it. It's not gonna hurt. Although chances are, if you're still this far along in the video, you are one of the subscribers, so I appreciate you and I thank you for your support. Yeah, I just wanna say a big thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. I hope you're learning a lot from this channel, and I hope you're doing awesome. I hope your day's going well. Hope your project's going well, and yeah, just keep being awesome. Thanks for watching, you guys. Till the next video.